For the general audience who don't know anything about Internet of Things, so if you can summarize it in a few words, what Internet of Things is, what you think is interesting.
Well, I think the best way to start is to Google computer for the 21st century. You'll find this text by Mark Weiser. He wrote it in 1999, and he basically realized that he was still interacting with his computer through a mouse and a keyboard. And this was the mouse also being in 1964, and that it might be better at this particular moment in time when things got so fast to take the connectivity out of the computer and put it into the environment. He was envisioning things like wearables, smart clothing, smart homes, and smart cities. And this is a bit where we are now, and it's a kind of paradigm that is really won. And all the computing layers, from hardware to infrastructure to software, are basically all tuned to this idea that everything will talk to everything will be connected to everything. And in a way, this is quite something religious in a way, because for religious people everything is connected to everything already. Also, if you are a bit of a poet, or if you just like walking in the woods, sometimes you feel connected to a tree or to. So it's not something really strange. What is strange is that there is this kind of idea that everything will be tagged with particular unique identification schemes, and this is in itself maybe not good or not bad. It's quite inevitable. It's a bit like this Nietzsche, it's the beyond good or bad. You can either look at it and you can say I don't like it, but that's, well, then maybe you have to start moving to a place where there is no connectivity, which is basically everywhere, so you can't move anywhere. You maybe have to take yourself out, which is not what you want, because you want to live and have some good life. And then I think that it's, at the moment, we never had so much possibilities for simple people like us, which is people without money or without connections or without heritage. We're not like princes or royalty, and we don't have a lot of money, and all the people that I meet and people that we discuss and that we know are quite simple people. For the first time, I think in history, through the internet and through this possibility to connect, to network, we simple people have the same tools that before only very rich people had, very connected people, very heritage people. And this, I think, is giving us huge responsibility, but also opportunities to look at these new technologies, to not be afraid of them, not to hack them, not to have a negative attitude towards them and want to stop them, but to simply take over. To, as we've been doing also in the workshop, to look at these technologies and to say, how can we make something on top of these technologies? And now we see that we can actually read out some numbers and read out some text, and we can actually put our own readers into place. We can have a community network in place, for example. And we can use all these technologies also to bring people more together instead of taking them more apart, which is what these control and surveillance mechanisms are sort of doing. So I actually, if I would be young now and sort of going into this, you can either be very afraid and sort of think, oh God, my privacy is going and everybody's going to know everything in me, or you can say, look, I think I have as much agency as the next guy. And remember, Google is only a company that's 11 years old. And it started with two people that made one batch of a search engine protocol. The search engine at that time only looked at how many hits do you get on a page. And they thought, well, why don't we add that kind of relative weight to this? So if this page is really well visited, you'll get a bit more. We add this to the algorithm that counts you and that puts you up in our system. So this was very simple reasoning, and they added this, and through this simple one addition, they became, and the simple design, they became the biggest search engine, and now they become sort of, for most people, they are the internet of the world. Now, it's not as if this cannot happen all over again. So anybody now with a good idea can become the next Google. if you want to, or maybe you don't want to become an SQ, or maybe you want to become a whole lot of small interconnected projects. But I think this is not a time to sort of be afraid of these technologies, because if you are, you will get defensive and you will spend your energy while you're young into defending things instead of making things or building things. So I think we should put our energy in a more positive way to see the new hacking as building on top of existing systems. And it's also, I think, what a lot of hackers are doing now. They realize that if they start hacking these systems, they will only make the system engineers more clever, because they will alert them to all the holes. So why not invest our energy in making our own hardware, our own software? And these things are sort of happening. And I think this is really becoming something that's visible to more people. As the real opposition now is no longer between commercial and non-commercial, but between sort of human and non-human. Are we going to make these systems still open for humans, for us, and animals and the planet? Or are we going to make systems for systems? And will these systems be so clever that they will be only looking out for themselves? So I think we should, all the people who are in this human paradigm, I think we can support. But fitness might also be in there. Telcos might be in there. Big companies might be in there. There's a lot of people in big companies who are feeling the same thing. They're not evil in themselves because of big companies. So we find new oppositions and we find new teams between people working in all kinds of companies and all kinds of hackers and graphic designers and sociologists who realize that there is a new that putting the world online means that we get a different world. And it's not a world. It's not a 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. It's a 2.0 or a 3.0 or a 4.0 world in which we are going to play a bit God ourselves while we are trying to run all the databases. So. In that case, I think we should be not just aim for being the bugs in the system, but simply take over the whole system. So that's, I think, what we should do, take over the whole system.
Yeah. Thank you.